The gates of the custodial center close behind us to let us into the lives of over 550 inmates in this facility. I look around and it was clear the only similarity between the walls of the Nigerian Correctional Service Medium Custodial Center Kuje and the outside world is the weather condition. One cannot help but notice the ongoing construction works to repair the havoc wreaked during the attack on the facility by ISWAP in 2022 and to correct a future reoccurrence. Correctional facilities are established to reform convicts and prepare them for positive roles in the society after serving out their terms. Only recently, 6 inmates of the Nigeria Correctional Service graduated from the National Open University of Nigeria. They were awarded their certificates during the university's 2023 convocation. This confirms that there is indeed some attempt to ensure that those in custodial centers are not just condemned behind these walls. But beyond the 6 who have achieved this remarkable feat, what opportunities of self-development exist for inmates in the Nigerian Correctional Service? Does the facility serve its purpose to the country as a correctional center? At a pre-production meeting, the authorities of the custodial center inform us of the several self-development opportunities including skills acquisition available for the inmates to learn. We see some for ourselves beginning with agriculture. A fish farm and a poultry provide the chance for inmates to acquire knowledge of fish farming and poultry.
This is 6 high protein, high fiber. Yeah, it contains high fatty nutrients for the grow out fishes. You can see the way they're struggling to eat it. With this, you can be sure that your fishes will grow to the extent of where you want them to grow out. This is just basically the grow out pond fishes.
Yakubu is a graduate of a Nigerian university. He studied building construction and is a volunteer at the facility where he teaches inmates how to build houses. He advocates that inmates be given certificates which will empower them to find a job upon their release.
We are teaching them on how to translate building plans. And to translate building plans, for this one alone, it costs over 200,000 just to translate it. And now the inmates here, they can calculate blocks from the foundation level to the top structure till they finish it, and they can do all measurement of work, and they know the market schedule, the material price and everything. And many of them, they are not used to this before. I've trained over 70 inmates here. We even have their record. So we are planning and looking for ways that the government and the system will help us here to give them trade test certificates, competent tests, so that when they go outside, they can be self-employed, they won't go back to their normal way of life of stealing or robbery again.
This quadrangle here at the Nigeria Correctional Center in Kuje serves as a point of socialization and also a center of learning, but clearly marked on the walls are places where learnings take place. Tailoring, plumbing, tie and dye, computer repairs, shoemaking and carpentry are some of the crafts available for inmates to learn. The products created by the inmates are on display at various points of the courtyard and even at the reception for visitors to buy. Some inmates have bigger ideas and have come to the realization that a new life begins from within the walls. This is the case for Buchi, who has branded the liquid soaps, Izal, liquid car wash and other cleaning agents and disinfectants that he's learned to produce and now make within the facility.
This one, as you can see, this one is air fresher. I did this one by myself. He taught me how to do it. And this one is liquid soap. I can also do car wash and other things. This is what I name it. As I told you, my name is Onyebuchi. I name it Buchi's Fresh, as you can see.
The barbershop is also a popular sport at the facility. Some of the boys learn barbing skills and make a naira or two, giving others a haircut. The goal is to ensure that they become useful to themselves and to the society when they are released. It was Eugene Lunesco who said, "A work of art is above all an adventure of the mind." One of the most serene parts of the facility is where these young artists are on an adventure, drawing and painting. An inmate puts finishing touches to this special portrait of a familiar face, one who is also an inmate at this facility. Now, Go Big or Go Home is one of the books in store at the library here in Kuje. The library provides an opportunity for some of the inmates to come in and then get lost in search of knowledge. Well, on the walls also, it has some very interesting and, of course, inspirational words. We speak to the authorities of the Nigeria correctional system on the issues of inmates development.
In Kuje Correctional Center, for example, there are more than 20 rehabilitation programs that have been introduced, among which are fishery, piggery, poultry, shoemaking, pot making, and many other ones. With the support of the CGC, a lot of money has gone into it, and the inmates, more than 500 inmates in the correctional center, are all engaged now, including the awaiting trial inmates, on their own.
We have combined educations and skills here. We have those who are in the YA class, we have those who are in the open universities. Of course, if you remember, 2 weeks ago, we've graduated about 5 of them here who have acquired different degrees in various fields. And by the grace of God, we are making progress towards education aspect of it, combining that with the, entrepreneurship that they are also learning.
My most memorable experience at the facility is meeting Chiwendu Hart, because what he has made out of his time in the facility. Chiwendu tells us a fascinating story of his incarceration since 2012 for offenses bordering on culpable homicide when he was just 23. He served out a 10-year sentence for one of the charges and is awaiting trial for some of the other charges. Some years into his incarceration, Chiwendu read the book A Long Walk to Freedom, written by former South African President Nelson Mandela. This changed his mindset. Chiwendu made a determination to ensure his clock does not stop and is determined to have a life when he leaves the correctional center. Last year, Chiwendu graduated from the National Open University of Nigeria and is currently studying for his master's degree. While he awaits a verdict on other charges, Chiwendu has written 2 books on his experiences at the facility.
When I was about 8 years here, I started thinking, this experience can teach other people. Somebody must not necessarily want to pass through what I passed through before they can learn to stay out of trouble. So I had the inspiration to start writing a book. Prior to my coming here, there was no good educational background for me. So, but I took it as a challenge. So I started writing up the book. I was writing on the paper. Then, after having written in myself, I will go to the computer because we have personal computers for the students. Then I'll do the typing until I completed the book. So an opportunity came, an NGO came by Dream Again. And I told them I have written a book. I have written books, not just one. And they said, wow, that's great. Let's help. We want to come into it. How do we come into it? They took the book through the permission of the correctional facility management. They took the book, edited the book, and you can see that's the book. That's the book. So the title is The Moon Was Out of Sight for a Decade, a journey through the depth of prison. In it is enriched with practical lessons that people will read, and they will understand that crime does not pay. In whatever life, whatever thing you are doing, you need to guide your freedom with jealousness, and you wouldn't allow anybody to tamper with your freedom by going against the law of the nation.
Few weeks before his graduation examinations in 2022, Chiwendu, like other inmates at the Kuje Custodial Center, was presented with the opportunity to escape when ISWAP attacked the facility. He relieves the temptation to throw it all away and escape like hundreds of other inmates, but says he's happy at his decision not to trade his years of burning the midnight lamp for the life of a fugitive.
There was an ISWAP attack here. They came and raided the whole place, and everybody was running away. Then I said, wow, this is an opportunity to get out of this place because I'm already almost 10 years here. I saw people taking the opportunity to go away. But while I was thinking, that same voice that spoke to me that I should give a change a try and I can make good thing come out of this adversity spoke to me while I was even trying to escape. Said, "Children, go back to your cell. Don't go away." And I looked back and I just saw that I was the only graduating student during the convocation. And I saw that my book was already in editing level. I said, wow, if I run away from here, that means I've thrown everything away. My certificate was there with the record of the correctional facility. So I said, no, it's not worth going away. This is a negative opportunity for freedom. I'm going to wait until the perfect time come. Maybe God has a plan for me. So that was why I stayed behind. And as I stayed behind, now it was after the attack that I now enrolled into, and I now still, after the attack, I was admitted for masters. Right now I'm done with my courses and I'm doing projects. So by next year I should be graduating, having that master's certificate. And my dream is I want to get to PhD.
Now, 10 years is indeed quite a long time to have spent within these facilities, although you have your dreams. But were there points that you felt like ending it all? Were there points that you were depressed and you felt you couldn't continue?
Yeah, I remember a time that I was depressed. Like, you have to go to court. Like I've mentioned, I'm awaiting trial for over 11 years now. So sometimes you see people going, you see people that comes before you go, even to the point that some persons who are convicted with capital sentence, I mean death by hanging, you're here, you see them when they came in, go to court, convicted in the court, they go to appeal, capital sentence, and appeal will still discharge them, you're still here. So those things will keep registering. Once you're familiar with somebody, you're now friend, and all of a sudden you hear that the person is going, so you start wondering, what have I actually done that I don't have these chances that these people are having? So
Every state does not exist in isolation. If you look at the Nigerian
Like Chinwendu, many of the inmates are determined to prepare themselves for life's opportunities when the door opens on the other side, and are optimistic that they are fully equipped for the challenges ahead. For many, a commitment in the Nigeria Correctional Center is a death sentence, while for some who seize the opportunity, it might be a long walk to freedom, but an opportunity for a rebirth. Ferdinand Duroha, reporting from the Medium Custodial Center in Kuje.